Hi everyone, Marianne Cowan here from Pinery Paper Crafts. It is Monday, November 1st. I hope everyone had a great Halloween. We had quite a few trick-or-treaters. I live kind of out in the country, so I wasn't sure how many we would get, but we had about 30, I think, 35 maybe. And it was cute, and the kids were so excited to be trick-or-treating again. Hi Linda. So my name is Marianne Cowan. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Ottawa, Canada. I go live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 1 o'clock on Mondays and 3 o'clock Wednesdays and Fridays. And I showcase Stampin' Up! Products, card designs, and hopefully inspiration for your paper crafting. So today we are going to be working with a new product that's coming out tomorrow called Eden's Garden. It's an early release, but some of the products are while supplies last. And I have been playing with this a little bit lately, and I have a class coming up, so I'll just show you some of the products. So the stamp set and dies, the bundle, will be available in the next catalog, so it's an early release. However, this Ever Eden Designer Series paper, the cotton paper, and the gems are only available while supplies last in the early release. So I'm thinking this paper is going to go very quickly. So I'm going to show you some cards to make with that paper today. Also, don't forget Paper Pumpkin. You have until November 10th to subscribe, and they are these adorable little treat containers that you could easily turn into cards. And one thing good about Paper Pumpkin is some of the Stampin' Up! Kits have been selling out very quickly, but once you subscribe to Paper Pumpkin, you're guaranteed to get it because they make as many as they need. So that's one of the good things about it, and I can't wait to get this. It looks adorable. The last set was Christmas cards that were absolutely beautiful. And I'm going to start doing a monthly Paper Pumpkin alternate Facebook Live to show you other things you can do with your kit. So I highly encourage you to subscribe, and it would make a perfect Christmas gift for somebody. You can subscribe every month. You can do a 3-month subscription, a 6-month, or a 12-month subscription. Hi Leanne. So great. My next class coming up is Sparkle of the Season. And I'm just going to show you a couple of the cards that I've designed for it. I'm not going to show you the last one. It's a Christmas card. There's several different price points for my classes. There's always several options. The first option usually includes the bundle or a stamp set. And then all options include some kind of embellishment. So this one includes the matte decorative dots, which are really fun for this class and really anything. And the bundle includes the stamp set, Sparkle of the Season, which has some excellent sentiments, not just for Christmas. Thankful for You, Happy Halloween, some nice fall ones, Grateful, and Merry Christmas. And then it has these dies to go with it. And some awesome little dies. That's a witch's broom. So cute. So here are some of the cards we will be making in that class. Here's a couple of masculine ones using the cork paper and the brick paper from the In Good Taste. Here's one that you could use. I didn't even put the sentiment down. You could use it as a congratulations, or you could use it as thankful, anything you like really. And the last one I have best wishes, but you could also use this one, may the sparkle of the season warm your heart and home. So those are sneak peeks of some of the cards. You can register on my blog, mariannecowan.com/events. And then the one that we're working on today is Eden's Garden. And again, there are several price points. I have the stuff here. I'll show you in a second. I'll show you. So here's what comes in the Eden's Garden, the stamp set, and the sentiments are beautiful. Dear friend, how are you? Hello there, and I'm going to show you how to use just hello. Sending hugs, let's celebrate everything, My heart is tied to yours. Tug if you need anything. I love that. And then it has some awesome dies that go with it. And I've been using this die a lot as well. Stitched Greenery die, which is really, really pretty. Not part of the set, but I've been using it. And that class includes the gems, which I don't have yet. And if you have a friend sign up that's never stamped with me before, you get this beautiful gold ribbon, which coordinates with the products. What I like about this set is it only has 2 ink colors, Evening Evergreen and Soft Succulent. So you know if you have these 2 inks, it's going to match every sheet of paper. Hi Phyllis. So I think that's really cool, and it makes it quite easy to create. So I'll show you some of the ones that we've been making, and then the ones we're making for class. So here's just a few of the ones that we made last week. We started with this one, just stamping, added the sentiment and a little ribbon, and then we fancied it up and we heat embossed gold instead of just stamping it in the darker color. Added the gold frame, some of the gold elements, and that beautiful gold ribbon. So those were 2 of the cards. Then we made this one, which I actually haven't finished yet. I heat embossed the large image and heat embossed it in gold. It's so, so pretty. Here's another one that we did using that beautiful background die and the beautiful designer series paper. Again, some of the elements. Here's a book fold one we did on a Fun Fold Friday. And we did the matching envelope. So I used the die to make the envelope beautiful. The paper for this is absolutely incredible. So the ones for class, we have this little fun fold. We have this one that showcases that beautiful background. Another little fun fold. And another little fun fold. It has this beautiful ombre paper that I really like. The paper is just incredible. If you don't order anything, order the paper. Well, you should order everything, but especially the paper. All right, we're making 2 cards today. One of them is actually a fun fold. So for my first card, it started out 8.5 by 5.5, but then I cut it down by so that this piece is 2 3/4. And honestly, the reason I did that is because I had this piece that was already cut to 2.5. Do you ever do that? Like you design your cards based on the pieces you have cut? I do. Inside we have 4 by 5 1/4 for our sentiment. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on because we do have another little layer to put inside. It's actually quite beautiful here in Ottawa today. I'm going to go and play in my garden after this and dig up my dahlias. I already chopped. Oh, look at that. Don't you just hate putting glue on there? Gotta do it. I also have to put all my bird feeders back. We take them down for the summer because we have a bear that lives in our backwoods. And I don't want to feed the bear. Alright, so this piece is 1 3/4. Random 1 3/4. Now, one of the dies cuts out this beautiful edge piece, and I have cut it using the 2021-23 shimmer vellum. So it's the in color shimmer vellum. So this is, I think that might be the dark one actually. I'm not sure. It's either Soft Succulent or Evening Evergreen. What I do is once I start playing around with this stuff, I keep a little bucket of things I've cut out. So let me just, I'm checking to see what color. So there's another one the same color. I'm pretty sure that's the dark one. And I would know if I could find a light one. Well, it must be because this is the light. That's the cotton paper. It's very thin, but very pretty. See, I have extra little bits of these that I've cut out. And then I just dig around and find what I need. So I'm pretty sure this is Evening Evergreen. So my idea is this is going to go here. And then I want to tuck my Evening Evergreen right under, so it shows through onto this paper. And I'm going to have to trim off a little bit. So I think I'll add this piece first. And then we can trim it off. So I don't know if you can see, but there is a little bit of stitching, and I want a little bit of that showing. So when you die cut it, it does have this little stitch, and I just die cut it near the edge of the paper so that I can just cut it off. Now, had I looked closely, I would have maybe cut it off here and slid it down a little bit. No, it's already glued. The white glue is very strong, but I might just go like this. Let's see if that's going to work. I think it will. Yeah, it's still not off the edge of the card. So think about that when you're, not when you're die cutting it, because that was the whole die, but when you're attaching it to your card. All right, let's go ahead and put, the backs are just so pretty too. It's one of those papers that the front and back of the paper really coordinates beautifully. So we're going to add this. So I want it lined up at the top. And it should line up at the bottom, but if it doesn't, it's not as problematic. Well, it's not a problem at all. Isn't that pretty? Now you could chop this right off if you want. I kind of like it like that. So I've gone ahead and used the Tasteful Labels dies. This one and this one. I use these all the time. These need to be in your craft room for sure. This is in the gold foil. That's going to go here. Now, trick. Did I leave it on the block? No. I want to show you a trick so that you can use just part of the words. I meant to leave this on the block. So you can see how I'd have just hello, because obviously hello there is not going to fit. This is quite small, so it doesn't fit a lot of sentiments. Hey Diane. So what I did is I used my little embossing buddy, and then I took my ink, the glue ink, and just tapped in the hello, and then I made it so it was just hello, and then there was a tiny little bit on the corner, probably part of the T, that I just brushed off with my paint. I have a little paintbrush. So then I ended up with just hello. So you get more bang for your buck from the stamps if you can use them just one word or not the whole sentiment. And I did that on the next card as well. So this is going to just get glued on. I don't want to introduce white glue because I always make a mess with it. So I'm going to put this like this. Now I do want to add a couple of these. I'm trying to remember if I wanted to add them before or after. So here you can see the difference in the color. So that's Soft Succulent in that shimmer vellum. So this one is definitely Evening Evergreen and Soft Succulent. So you can definitely tell the color difference in the colors. It's not as dark as this. That's why at first I wasn't sure, but it definitely is Soft Succulent. Just noticed one that didn't get popped out. All right, so I'm pretty sure I wanted to put a couple of these. Now it's a light background, so I'll start with my dark and then add my light. So it's the same. See, even these it's hard to tell. So that's the light, Soft Succulent, and that's the dark. It's not much darker, that's why it's a bit trickier to tell, which is fine. So I want to add a green one, and I think I want to go with this, do I? So if I did this one, it matches this, but so I want to introduce another color, so I'm going to go like that. I want to make sure my sentiment is going to fit. Alright, so I know I want them right there. I'm going to grab a glue dot. Okay. I'll remember. So I'll add a glue dot. I am putting in an order tomorrow. I'm going to wake up early and make sure that I get this stuff. So if you're interested in any of these products, let me know, or you can shop online using this host code. Now I never like them exactly the same height. That's pretty close, but now let's see if that's going to be good. All right, we definitely need some kind of ribbon. Let's pop this up. So I'm going to place an order if anyone's interested. You can check my website to see what my options are. But at the very least, get the paper. And for my card class, when you purchase the card class, of course, you get all the paper and everything you'll need. All right, I like that, but it needs a little bow. I had one hanging off around here. Let's make a new one. This is actually the gold stuff from last year. But my gold trim is around here somewhere. And I just ordered more because I've been using a lot of it. What I liked about this one from last year is you can fray it. So if you have some in your stash still, or the other gold will work perfectly. Now, to use a glue dot on this, you're going to need to roll it. So I just take my piercing tool, roll it up, and we're good. Because you don't want whoever opens this to have the ribbon stuck on the envelope. And when you use a glue dot with this tiny little amount of twine, you can move your bow exactly where you want it. And you can move your tail exactly where you want it, because I don't really want it on top of the hello. Now we're going to bring in some gold Glimmer enamel dots, because I don't have my little gems yet. But these are very pretty too. So I'm going to put a couple up here. And then maybe two of the little tiny ones down here. I just love this paper. It reminds me of I can't remember the name of it, the other paper that we had last year for the fern set. Whoopsie. I try to place these and not press down too hard. Because I'm putting two, I want them kind of straight. There. You could also stamp a little image in here, or stamp something on your card, or your envelope, I mean. Okay, so that's our first card. Hello. All right. Thanks, Linda. Yeah, you can watch the replay. It'll be coming up. Okay, so that's our first card. Now let's do our second card. So this one's kind of a fun fold. Well, it is a fun fold. Here's all the pieces. Originally I had a whole card base, and you can do that. Yes, for Evergreen. But you don't really need to, because then you would have a greeting in here, and you're going to have another greeting here. So this is just one layer, 5.5 by 4 1/4. Then we have a different layer that is 2.5 by 11. So I've just folded it in half, so it's going to go like this. Then I have two pieces of this paper. Just look at the back, so pretty. 1 inch by 5 1/4. Great way to use up your little scraps. It's going to go like that. And then we'll make up this piece. So let's go ahead and put these 2 pieces on, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do for the flap. It's so fun. The way I decide on my papers is I just look through the paper pack and see what fronts and backs will look good together. I mean, most of them do, but some are cuter than others. Okay, so we've got 1. You could use a whole piece, but hey, I'm not wasting this paper. So little 1-inch strips are perfect. That's why this is a great card if you have a bunch of scraps, because the piece on the front is not very big either. Okay, so we got those 2. That's our base. Let's set that aside. Now we have our folded piece. Actually, we can go ahead and put this on. And basically, I just want to center it and make sure the top is right at the top. Okay, so that's our base. So now I have a piece of 2 1/4, because the base was 2 1/2, so 2 1/4 by 5 1/4, and so this is 2 by 5. So 2 1/4 by 5 1/4, 2 by 5. This might be my favorite piece. It's so pretty and subtle with the tiny, tiny little gold dots. Oh, look at the ombre. It might be, but it might not be, because they're all so pretty. Hi Suzanne, this DSP is incredible. It's available tomorrow, only while supplies last. Hi Suzanne. So I have this piece, which is going to go on top here, but not yet. Then I have the Tailor Made Tags, and I've selected this one and this one, which is missing because I want to show you another little trick. I love these tags. I really didn't think I needed tag dies, but I do, and so do you. So we have the Vellum, which we're going to put here. I was going to use Evening Evergreen, but I didn't really want to cover up this paper. It's so beautiful. So I opted for Vellum. Then this is the smaller one. And again, I have that hello. So let me show you how I did that. Oh, and I have this little, this was a scrap. So I want to put this inside on my inside piece. Don't let me forget to do that. So what I did is I took a piece of scrap white. I stamped hello there. I had a couple of ideas. I thought, well, I could cut them up and then just do hello there. And then some sprigs, which would have been cute. So that's one option. But instead I did hello, then took my little die, so I stamped it first, took my tag die, I wanted it in the middle, so I just ran it through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine so that I ended up just with hello. You could do another tag that said there. That'd be funny. So that's how I ended up with this. Don't use that die. So then what I did is I took the stamp from the stamp set and I used this tiny little one with the little berries. This is Soft Succulent Stamped Off. So second generation is what it's called. So now I have these two pieces. So let's do some ribbons. So I was deciding whether I wanted to do Soft Succulent, maybe Evening Evergreen, and I'm going to wrap it in gold. Let's try Evening Evergreen and see if it's too dark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little piece through and then wrap it in gold. Originally I was going to wrap something around this whole layer, which I could do, but I think this might look pretty. You do mangle up the end of your ribbon because the hole is pretty small, so allow for that. Okay, so I'm not sure if I'm going to like Soft Succulent or Evening Evergreen. So my idea is to put a little tag like this, a little tail I should say, put it on here, and then wrap it in gold. I'll show you where my other gold was. And then do a bow. Let me check. Right here. This one is not quite as thick actually. Okay, so let's see how this is going to look on the card base. I think actually this might look good. Yeah, I'm going to go with Evening Evergreen. The other choice was Soft Succulent, but it doesn't show up quite as much. You could put both if you want. I'm going to go with Evening Evergreen. And the way to keep my ribbons in check is I just use these little clips. Okay, so my ribbon scissors, I'm going to cut it a little bit long so I can get a nice clean tail on it at the end. You do have to kind of play with your ribbon to make sure that it's going exactly the way you want it. Okay, let's go ahead and put this piece on. I was thinking also of doing a gold layer instead of this color gold. Of course I would have cut a bunch of stuff out of it first, but I kind of like the Soft Succulent. And the little gold dots are just so subtle. Now, I'm going to tie a bow around this piece, hopefully. I have an old chair and the electronics in it are weird, and I just sunk down about 6 inches. Alright, that looks good. I didn't want a whole bunch of gold on this one. I wanted it to be more subtle. And I think it's going to be. Alright, just I have to pull my chair back up. Alright, there we go. So let me just put this ribbon away. You can just get those clips at Dollarama or Staples. So this is the trim that comes silver and gold. Oh, I had a little piece I could have used. Simply Elegant Trim. Available in my online store. We don't need this anymore. So now we just need to figure out how to attach this. Now, obviously, you can do it straight up and down, or you could do it on a bit of an angle. I have trouble doing stuff on an angle, but I think for this, I want to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop up the vellum. And if you put it right behind, you won't see it. Don't worry, I'm going to trim off those gold ones. I know they're a little crazy right now. So I do want to have room for a little bit of a tail at the top. Now if this goes crazy on you, you could take a little glue dot and glue dot it, but I think it'll be okay actually. And I'm going to leave my bow fairly big. Now to trim off these, I want them on an angle. There we go. And you also could use the in-colored jewels to add some bling to this. I'm not sure what I'm going to add yet, but I do have this little strip that originally I was going to put this one straight onto the evergreen, and then I decided to put this layer. So I have this little piece that I saved, and I think it'll look pretty on the inside. So this is the inside piece. Doesn't that just add to it? I don't know, it just makes it, just finishes it, I guess. And really, it's a scrap you probably would have thrown out. Let's go ahead and put this in here. Have I convinced anyone that they need this paper? I hope so. If I have, my mission here is done. My ribbon scissors. Oh, I need my poker tool. I'm gonna go ahead now and add some gems. Gold glitter enamel dots. And I don't want a ton because, like I said, I want it to be more subtle. So I'm going to use this little one. You could put a whole bunch of these tiny little ones. No, that would be too much, I think. And maybe one medium-sized one up here. No, now I have to put two. Can't just put one. Anyone else like that? Put one and think, oh, now I have to put another one. Now this moves around a bit, but that doesn't bother me, so I'm good with that. Leanne, you're buying it. Leanne, you're a demonstrator. You can buy it right now. That's one of the perks of being a demonstrator. You can pre-order products a month ahead of customers. That's a perk. So here are 2 cards for today. Get everything else out of the way. First one, they're both kind of fun folds actually. So the first one, we just trimmed it off and then added this beautiful element. And then added the gold on the sentiment. I realize that's not quite in the middle of the sentiment, but that's okay. And this die is actually in the die set. So the dies that you get, you couldn't really see when I was showing you. So you get this one, which cut this one. Then you get this beautiful sentiment one. And a large wreath, a smaller wreath, and then this beautiful leaf, stem of leaves. Actually, there's a couple little berries there too. So those are the dies. So the dies in the stamp set will be available in the new catalog in January, but this paper will not. So you'll definitely want to get it. So there we just use the front and back. So on the fronts of the paper, there's gold. It's specialty paper. There's gold there's gold embossing on all the fronts of the paper, and on the back, it's more muted. And here's our second card. Is it just me, or is that crooked? And when you open it up, you get that little pop of color that matches the front. All right. Thanks for joining me today. I do appreciate it if you like or share my video. If you're watching the replay on YouTube, I invite you to like my channel and hit the subscribe button so you'll be notified when I post a new video. So I will post the measurements for this onto Facebook and as well onto YouTube. Probably later today because I want to get out in my garden while it's still a little bit sunny and warm. My husband was reminding me that the clocks go back next week, which makes November days not much sunshine. But that's okay, because my craft room is well lit up. Alright, thank you for joining me. I will be back on Wednesday at 3 o'clock for some more inspiration. Don't forget to send me an email, or you can go on my online store to order the Eden's Garden products, or if you would like to get the class, the Eden's Garden class. Thanks everyone, and have a great evening.